What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracka, which is comics, reviews, awesome movies, comedy, and anything else I think kicks ass. I'm going to do things a little differently this time, because a couple of the tables I usually use are indisposed at the moment. They have a lot of things on there, and I'm going to try something different. One thing I'm going to show you, that we're going to start 33. This is going to be the other half of the Spider-Man box that I had, the thing I was telling you about with the limited series. But take a quick look, show you another area. Some of my short boxes that I have, which I've shown them all in one shot, but now I got more of them. The top box on the right there is actually my fiance's new comic box. She's excited that she has her own box now. And on top of that are actually some of her comics that she got. So she's getting into it, it's cool. And then underneath is my DC box. Well, one of them anyway. And then I got a couple of those two over there. And then if you could see all the way where all the posters are, you can kind of see them. There's another set of boxes. Those are the long boxes. And kind of redid most of my stuff here. As you can see, I got I've shown it before, Back in Black, Spider-Man, Wolverine. It's my new bookshelf, which I will show. That's where I keep my TPBs, or my trade paperbacks, which there's a lot of them. It goes all the way down. But anyway, the real reason we're here for episode 33, and that's with the limited series stuff. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into something which I haven't figured out where I'm going to put it in Marvel or DC, so as of right now, it's just kind of sitting around. And this is the JLA Avengers, the crossover. This is number 3, I believe. Let's get the whole thing there. And I actually got it signed by George Perez, as you can see right there, signed across. Very cool. If you don't know George Perez, he's just an awesome artist. He just does a lot of really good detail, and I love his work. But show you a couple of the books that I don't know what I'm really going to do with, because I kind of put them in their own little thing. But X-Force number 1, it's still in its original poly bag. Never opened it. I do have another one that I opened, but I put it in hard plastic just to keep the poly bag kind of straight. This is Fantastic Four, which got turned into Fantastic 3. This is the death of the Human Torch, which I threw in like another little hard plastic thing. All New Spider-Man, the Ultimate Series 1, issue number 1, which is when they changed Peter Parker into I think his name is Miguel or something, I can't remember. Never read it, never opened it. X-Men number 1, the Ultimate Series, never opened it. Then we got the Rebirth of Superman, in its original polybag thing, and never opened. Put in another plastic. And of course you have to have the Death issue, which is never opened. I do have ones that are open, which you'll see later, but just for fun. Alright, now we're going into the limited series. There's no real rhyme or reason, I don't think. I just kind of threw stuff together. This was a promo that I've shown, just weird. Just threw it in there, and it's Cirque du Soleil from Marvel. Then we got the Marvel Universe, which is basically it's the handbook. This is number 5, which is H to J, which basically just goes over every character from H to J. Their stats, their height, powers and stuff like that. This, when I was a kid, this was a must-have because I was learning about all the characters, so I usually bought a lot of these, and then I would figure them out and see who I liked the most. Number 10 with Spider-Man, still the S. Then we got number 12, V through Z, with Wolverine. Very cool. Moving on. Then they have, this was called the Marvel Universe Update 89. Basically anything that they had to update, like, people that died or stuff like that. Obviously Angel turned into Archangel. Certain things, Apocalypse showed up. This is number 1. Very cool. I had number 2. Sorry about the shadows and the lighting. I'm just working my best on this stuff. It's hard to work with. But anyway, number 2. Number 4. That's when the original Human Torch came back, which was an android. And then number 8 with Venom. Obviously he came about. U.S. Agent, new color vision, stuff like that. Moving on. Let's see, this is the Marvel Universe Book of the Dead, it was called. That's basically all the characters that died in the years. It's number 17. Book of the Dead Deluxe. You know, the Drax the Destroyer. Let's see, they got the Green Goblin in there. The Guardian, Dracula. This is number 18. There's that guy Mirage I was telling everybody about. You know, they killed him off real quick. Moving on. This is the this is called the Marvel Age, which was basically like just stuff that was happening in Marvel. This is number 91. It was kind of like a newsletter, but in comic book form. All about the cool stuff that was coming around. Came around when Thanos was about ready to have the Infinity Gauntlet. Then we got number 92, which, as you can see, dealt with a lot with Iron Man. 93. Number 95, which dealt a lot with Captain America. And number 100. Funny little cover. And let's see, number 108. Which is funny because these, they did sell them. They were $1. But I actually got them for free because I was working at a comic book store at the time, and my boss would always throw in an issue whenever I got anything, and he would just say, hey, you want that? And yeah, alright, cool. And I read up on it because the more you know, the more stuff you could sell for me. This is Marvel Age 1992 preview. This is when a lot of things changed, so they put out a pretty thick magazine. And then this was, I don't even remember what number this was, but this is had to deal with the Hulk. When the Hulk changed around into the Smart Hulk. I don't think it even has a number, not that I can see, but it was 30-year anniversary of the Hulk. Very cool. Moving on. Let's see what's next. This one was actually a pretty good issue. There was only, I think there might have been a couple of them, but I only got one. But I thought they were interesting. It's the Marvel Holiday Special. It was pretty cool. It was pretty funny. And you're probably asking what is down there. That is actually a Deadpool drawing that I had done. Very cool. Next is a thing called the Pulse, which I believe it was with Power Man, Luke Cage's wife, Jessica something, I can't remember what her, Jones I think it was, that was it. This was her take, she was a reporter, so the Pulse was like the Daily Bugle kind of thing. Moving on. Hopefully. Let's see, where was that? There we go. This is, next on the list is the Marvel Saga, which this is number 6, has to do with the X-Men. Can't remember a whole lot of this. I think it had something to do with like almost like retellings, kind of like the Spider-Man saga. They would, you know, talk about stuff that happened. This is basically how Cyclops met Iceman. This is number 8, which is obviously that was the Amazing Spider-Man number 1 cover kind of thing, and this is X-Men Training. Then this is the March and the Ultimatum saga with Magneto. I just thought that was an awesome cover. I got the Moon Knight saga. I think this was free. Yeah, it was. I was right. It was free. Very cool. Nothing wrong with free stuff. And the Daredevil saga. And moving on. Let's see. This is Universe X, the special Captain America issue. It's an old Captain America. It's a weird storyline. It's kind of like an alternate future version of the X-Men, of the Marvel Universe. and this is Paradise X Special Edition. So you see there's an older Wolverine, new version of Iron Man, Spider-Girl. Let's see, and then next is Earth X. If I can get them out, there we go. Earth X number 0. And number 1, which this guy was actually a new version of Ghost Rider. Well, the future version. Alternate future version. This is number 2, which I don't remember if that was the future version of Iron Man or what. Might have been the Hulk, but I think it was Iron Man. Really can't remember. And there's the Thing with his kids. Next up is the Dark Reign files, which is basically Norman Osborn's files on everybody. Know your foes. Know your foes. There we go. I can talk. Now this is something that I actually got because I used to work at Target, and it's called Target Presents, which was something they gave out to the workers, which I grabbed a whole stack. Figured the hell with it. Nobody else was grabbing any. But Target Presents Reading to the Rescue. Not for resale. All by Target. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 copies of it. Like I said, nobody else was taking them, so I just took a whole stack. The hell with it, you know. Free stuff. Let's see, moving on to the next thing, which was Onslaught, the Marvel Onslaught universe, which was basically Onslaught was the combination of Magneto, and a Sentinel, and Professor X. Moving on. This one was called Onslaught Reborn. Number 1 of 5 with Captain America, Franklin Richards. Let's see, hopefully I can. This is called Last Planet Standing. Number 5 of 5. The Galactus. I really can't remember what the hell this was about. I mean, obviously it's about Galactus eating stuff, but moving on. Actually, another thing I'm going to put into this is that I'm not going to be making parts anymore. Well, at least for the, hopefully in the near future. I'm just going to do episodes because it's just easier that way. So hopefully I'll get through this this box, otherwise you'll have to come in for another episode. I mean, technically it's all the same thing, how many parts I make one episode, but what the hell. This is called The Last Hero Standing. This is number 1 of 5. It's kind of like a Secret War Contest of Champions kind of deal. This was number 2. I think that's all I have of that one. And this is called, there we go, Contest of Champions 2. They did have a Series 1, but it's very, very old, and I don't have any of them. So I had number 2, this is number 1. It's, Iron Man vs. Psylocke. Very cool. This is number 2. They're actually pretty good fights. It's almost like an old version of the Avengers vs. X-Men. Spider-Girl vs. the Human Torch. Number 3, Thor vs. Storm. And as you could see, if you look at the covers, you could see the guy in the background actually taking shape. And they finally show who it is on number 4, which is the Brood. They're pretty much the people who are running it. That's Black Panther vs. Captain America. And then number 5, which is Rogue vs. Miss Marvel, which is a pretty good rematch, I guess. And we're going to move on to the Secret Wars. Alrighty, before I show you the Secret Wars, I'm going to go in a couple of the ones that I just noticed that I had in there that I haven't really figured out what to do with them yet, but Human Fly #1. It's actually a really good issue. It had Spider-Man in it, and they fight on a plane, which is pretty good. This is Powerless #5. Wolverine. We got Spider-Man and Wolverine Marvel Team Up #1. And now we're going to get into the Secret Wars. This is Secret Wars #1. Unfortunately, I don't have all of them, but it's a work in progress. It skips all the way to #7, which is the first appearance of the new Spider-Woman, which is right here, with the black costume. And then everyone's favorite, #8, which is the appearance of Spider-Man's black costume that later turns into Venom. This is actually in near mint condition. I actually got it in a bookstore, not a comic book store. It was funny, I found it in a bookstore and my friend was jealous as hell. Where'd you get that? I can't find it, it's expensive. And it was in a bookstore for $2, and that was, I think, like 92. So that was a pretty good deal, because they were up there. This is #9. As you can see, like I said, I don't have all of them. And then that was the last one for Secret Wars Volume 1, and this was #2, and #2 of #2. There you go. This Secret Wars actually sucked ass. The first one was really good. The second one sucked, and then I got Secret Wars. This is like Volume 3, Book 1 of 5. Secret War, which I quite honestly I really don't even remember this one all that much. But moving on to something very cool. That's the Infinity Gauntlet #1, and I actually have it signed by George Perez right there. Very cool. I got #2 signed by George Perez because I'm sick like that. Very nice guy. If you ever meet him, he really is a really cool guy, and he didn't mind signing anything. And I try not to be too much of a dick and giving him like a billion things, but I figured when's the next chance I'm ever going to meet the guy again, so what the hell. Infinity Gauntlet #3. I got it signed. Very cool. Then I got #4, which actually I love this cover. Of course it's signed. Very, very cool. And #5. And can you guess, is it signed? Yes, it is. Very cool. And last but not least, #6, and of course I have it signed. And then I have this thing. It's called the Avengers Infinity Gauntlet. This is #1 of 4, which I don't remember reading. I'm getting bad with that. My old age is kicking in. And this is #2 of 4. Which, if I remember correctly, I really, like I said, I don't remember it. I think it's like a retelling of through Thanos's eyes, I guess. But moving on, this is the next series that was in after the Infinity Gauntlet, which is the Infinity War. This is #1. And we got #2. And #3. #4. #5. And last but not least, #6. It's very cool. Moving on to the Infinity Crusade, which I actually was not a fan of, but this is #1. It's the gold foil kind of thing. I just didn't like it all that much, so I didn't really buy them all, which I probably should have just to complete the collection, but maybe down the road. It's #2. And #3. #4, I believe. And that's the last one I have of the Infinity Crusade. I didn't get the last two. Which, again, I'm probably going to have to break down and buy the last two just so I can have the complete set. But moving on, this is the Civil War, the Initiative, #1. And we got, this is Frontline, Civil War. And that is #4. And I actually got it signed by, Box, I think is his name. I just can't remember what his first name was. But that's how he signed it. A little weird, but what the hell. He was there. Figured I'd go for it. Then we're moving into the actual Civil War. This is #1. #2. #3. #4. #5. And #6. Wow, it was more than #6. I thought there was only 6. I was wrong. It's #6. And #7. If you're looking for good stuff, this series definitely was awesome. It's definitely worth picking them up. It's a good read. Moving on to The Confession of the Civil War. #1. Then I got Siege. This is #2. This is a weird series. I'm gonna eventually get all of them as well. But #3. And #4. And moving on to Doom War, #1 of 6. Interesting. And I believe #2 of 6. That's all I have of that one. That was kind of sporadic. Moving on to, what do we got next? Secret Invasion, which is another interesting book. This is the Requiem, the one-shot, #1. And then this is the variant of #1. 3rd printing. Just thought it was a cool cover. And we got Secret Invasion 2nd printing variant #2. And 2nd printing variant #1. And we got #3. You see, it wasn't really in order. Kind of got a little messed up, but it's fixable. This is #4. Then we got #5. #6. Just thought that was an awesome cover too. #7. And last but not least, #8. And this is the last of the second box of comics that I've gotten through. So I hope you kind of enjoyed that. This is only some of the limited series things I have that I just kind of threw in there to save some space. But anyway, this has been episode number 33. And come back for number 34, and I'll continue on with lots and lots and lots and lots more comics. You'll enjoy it, I promise. Moving on to the next box. Later.